I do research on a couple of different areas. One of them is on the issue of noise exposure. Most of us think about noise impacting our hearing, and that's absolutely correct. But what we're learning today is that sufficient noise exposure can cause heart attacks and high blood pressure and stroke and cognitive impacts and all of these other things, such that hearing loss might only be the tip of the iceberg. Americans think of noise as maybe an occupational hazard, and as an industrial hygienist, that's been my focus historically too. Lots of workplaces have noise levels that can be quite harmful to workers. But what most of us fail to realize is that we can potentially get a lot of noise elsewhere in our lives. So you might think about going to concerts or shows or clubs. You might think about the noisy restaurant where you have dinner. Any one of these things alone might not be sufficient to harm your health, but if you're doing a lot of these activities every day of your life, eventually that may catch up with you. One of the big issues we've had with noise exposure is we don't really have good data. So we, for the first time ever, just in the past couple of years, now have noise maps of major roadways and airports in the US. So we're starting to get an idea of what people are exposed to from their environment in terms of transportation noise. But those maps tell us nothing about your job or your noisy hobbies or how loud you listen to music. So we're very excited to have partnered with Apple to launch a new study. Using new technology and apps from Apple, we'll be able to understand and measure how much noise you get when you listen through your headphones, for example. And we'll also be able to understand your environmental noise. So for the very first time, again at an individual level, we'll have a holistic sense of your noise exposure, and we're also going to test some hearing too. So again, for the first time, we'll start to be able to evaluate the link between music and hearing loss. We know that noisy work, for example, is directly linked to hearing loss, but we don't know much about music. So this study has a couple of exciting opportunities that we're really looking forward to exploring.